So good evening. Welcome to English Night. My name is Steve Ferrucci. I'm the chair of the English department. We've got a lot to celebrate and get to, as you can see, just kind of looking around, so we're going to jump right into it. Before we do that, I should note it takes a lot of work to put this together. I know it looks like it happened by magic. It did not. And so I want to just give a shout out to Miranda Lau, our administrative assistant. Miranda, if you're here, way over the corner, everyone turn and look at Miranda over there and applaud. Without Miranda, none of this would happen, and quite frankly, the English department would cease to exist. So we're very lucky to have her. Thank you, Miranda. Yeah. We have 2 scholarships to give out tonight, so we're going to get right to that, and you can read about them in your program. I'm going to invite the awardees to come up when their name is called and stand awkwardly somewhere around here while I read some good things about you. I'll then hand you a very fancy certificate, and we will stand together and take an equally awkward photo. And if there are parents or family or friends or strangers on the street you just happen to meet who also want to come and take a picture of us to increase that awkwardness, just do it. It'll all be good, all right? So to begin with, it's my pleasure to announce the winner of this year's Connie Campo Award. The Constant Campo Memorial Scholarship was established in memory of Connie Campo, who was a longtime member of the English department staff. This scholarship is for a non-traditional student who has demonstrated excellence in their studies and is awarded to someone who has shown sensitivity to gender and diversity issues. This year's recipient, Kyle Calhoun, and Kyle, if you're here, if you would make your way forward while we applaud, even though it's a little too early to do that, right? And this way, I don't actually start talking till you get here, so it just prolongs that. So,
well, it was awkward applause.
It was a little, wasn't it? So, Kyle, crowd, Kyle. Okay, all right. So Kyle was described by one of his professors as a dedicated and insightful non-traditional student. Kyle approaches their research and writing with exceptional rigor and deep commitment to critical inquiry that reflects the purpose of the Campo Scholarship. Currently completing the coursework on Fred Hampton and the Black Panther Party, Kyle's work demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of language as a force for equity, solidarity, and collective empowerment. Through this work and throughout their writing, they engage issues of diversity and civil rights with clarity, conviction, and intellectual depth that embody the spirit of this award. Of note, Kyle also works generously to help students in engaging with diversity issues, sharing resources, offering thoughtful feedback, and serving as an able discussion partner whose insight elevates collective learning. So please join me again in congratulating Kyle as this year's Connie Campo Award recipient.
You have to make it a little more awkward.
Good? All right, we're going to do this again.
Try actually. There. That looks a little better than plain blue.
All right, Tasha wants a picture, so what Tasha gets.
Thanks, Tasha. Also, can I awkwardly sit down?
Yes, please. I'm going to make you come back up and get again, but yeah. But yeah, go ahead and sit. Yeah. Well done. Our next award is the Alexander Sandy Taylor Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship was launched by family, colleagues, and friends of Sandy Taylor, a scholar, Eastern professor, and publisher following his death in 2007. The scholarship is awarded to English majors with preference given to students who show an interest in poetry. This year's recipient is Michaela Lesky. So Michaela, if you would like to come down too, and we'll clap as you walk. One of Michaela's professors had this to say: I have been continually impressed by her passion for writing and for learning more about contemporary poetry, especially as it relates to issues of personal identities and relationships, mental health, and social justice. In my time working with Michaela, I have watched her produce probing and innovative poems that captivate all who hear them. Michaela's work interrogates existential crises within 21st century American communities and argues for a new, more inclusive way of living within it. She writes with an urgency, vulnerability, and intelligence that commands attention and respect. The world needs to hear and learn from Michaela's work. Sandy Taylor would have loved her. Please join me again in congratulating Michaela. All right, congratulations again to you both. At this point, my job is solely now to invite Dr. Kiriko to the podium to introduce the scholars from her senior capstone, Comedy and Identity. Miriam.
Hi, good evening. I am Professor Miriam Kiriko, and for the past 2 semesters, I have had the pleasure of teaching an extraordinary group of students in their capstone seminar, Comedy and Identity. Whenever I teach this course, I emphasize early on that a text does not have to be funny to qualify as comedy. While comedies often invite laughter, comedy as a genre is defined as something more structural. A protagonist who triumphs over the odds or locates the silver lining in a catastrophe. The comic spirit, in other words, is rooted in faith and an enthusiastic demeanor. And in our context, the senior seminar, that spirit looks a great deal like committing to a 20-page research project over the course of 14 weeks, dealing with setbacks and frustrations and maintaining one's equanimity. So as you look around the room tonight at the posters on display, I hope you'll also notice that comedy is not confined to a single subject matter. Rather, it encompasses an extraordinary diverse range of topics. The students in this seminar did what the best college students do. They identified an area that intersected with their own interests, and then they taught themselves something new. So, despite the fact that we did not read children's or young adult literature in our seminar, we have several students, Olivia Ferreira and Julia Miller, who outlined the use of dark comedy in the works of Lemony Snicket and Roald Dahl. Caitlin Vesey focused on Amelia Bedelia's idiomatic foibles and misinterpretations. And Jenna Davis and Sadie DeCoster, who worked as a team and, yes, wrote a 40-page research paper together. Jenna and Sadie explored the particular humor devices that sparked children's enjoyment and early readers in picture books. During our first semester, we did not formally study film either, yet several students gravitated towards cinematic comedy. Olivia Landry investigated how mockumentaries satirize American culture. Kaylin Casey examined why audiences take such pleasure in wedding spoofs. And Maddie Bowen revealed how rom-coms just love to show people falling in love, especially when the person they are falling for is in disguise. Hugh Mackenzie explored the origins of the sad clown archetype in the films of Buster Keaton. And Chelsea Newton, a fan of the long-running sitcom Friends, shows how the show's deeply relatable characters often engage in the most absurd shenanigans. Their work has made it abundantly clear to me that I need to incorporate more film studies in my class. Comedy, of course, is not only joyous, it can sometimes be cutting, especially in the categories of satire and wit. Emily Fielding combined her double major in health sciences and English to demonstrate how editorial cartoons critiqued public health policy and behavior during our COVID pandemic. Emily Long, also a double major in philosophy and English, appraised the publishing industry's biased demands of racial authenticity in 2 novels, Yellowface and Erasure. And Megan Lucier studied Catherine Mansfield's subtle use of tone to mock upper-class bourgeois behavior in her collection of short stories. Finally, 2 students, Molly Kula and Alex Hollister, revealed how comedy can be empowering. Their 2 projects show how larger-than-life funny women or transgendered comedians can use audience laughter not only to challenge the way they're represented in the public narrative, but also to take charge of their own stories. Looking at these projects collectively, I can truly say that I have learned so much from you. And in addition to the work produced within my senior seminar, we also have 4 students whose independent research projects were completed under the guidance of Professor Allison Speicher. These independent projects, created by Gabriella Beams, Savannah Dursema, Taylor Thompson, and Julia Trainer, reflect the intellectual curiosity and commitment that define our students at their best. Early in the spring semester, and you may not remember this, but the students in my seminar read a play called The Real Thing by Tom Stoppard, Sir Tom Stoppard, one of my favorite comedic playwrights for the theater, who, sadly, passed away last week. In the play, the main character, Henry, tries to explain to his wife the value of good writing. He uses a metaphor of a cricket bat to illustrate. He describes the cricket bat as a wooden club. This is a quotation. The cricket bat as a wooden club that is actually several pieces of wood cunningly put together in a certain way so that the whole thing is sprung like a dance floor. If you get it right, the cricket ball will travel 200 yards in 4 seconds, and all you've done is give it a knock, like knocking the top off a bottle of stout, and it makes a noise like a trout taking a fly. Henry uses the cricket bat as a metaphor for how good writing, well-researched, lucid, persuasive writing, can promote good ideas. What we're trying to do, Henry explains, is write cricket bats, so that when we throw up an idea and give it a knock, it might travel. The students whose work you see tonight have learned to write cricket bats. Behind every poster here is a comprehensive amount of research and thought, sustained by clear written expression. These students swung and hit their ideas out of the ballpark. And tonight, you're seeing the final inning of a great game. I know from their work displayed tonight that these students and their bold comedic spirits will travel brightly into the future. Please enjoy both the catered hors d'oeuvres at the back of the room as you peruse the remarkable work on display tonight. Thank you.
All right, folks, I hope you had a chance to talk with everyone presenting. We're going to move now to the induction ceremony of Sigma Tau Delta. And so to do that, I'll invite Dr. Allison Speicher to come up and lead those festivities.
Hello all, and thank you so much for joining us for this year's Sigma Tau Delta induction. This year's induction is a particularly special one for the Alpha Epsilon Delta chapter because 2025 is our 30th anniversary, hence the balloons, which is to say our chapter is older than most of the people in this room. Our digital records stretch back only about half that time to 2010, but in the past 15 years, we've inducted over 450 new members, including the 23 we are inducting tonight. In that time, our members have won the competitive scholarships offered by the international organization and published their writing in the organization's undergraduate journals. We've also made our mark on campus, this year quite literally, with the opening of our Little Free Library, co-sponsored with Eastern's Aspiring Educators. You can find the library by the CCE. I restocked it on my way here, so it's full of books now. And the books are for children and grown-ups, so something for everyone. I've been the faculty member associated with Sigma Tau Delta for the past 10 years, and it's fitting that my title is officially chapter sponsor, not faculty advisor, because really the students spend far more time advising me. Our Sigma members are the student leaders of the English department, always ready and willing to step in to help, whether that means representing us at open house, serving on focus groups to discuss curricular changes, mentoring newly admitted students, welcoming new majors at our annual Warrior Welcome, or fundraising for worthy causes. Thank you all for always making us look so good, especially our outgoing e-board, Taylor, Julia, Shannon, Gabby, Ian, Olivia, and Alexa. Woohoo! Our Ebrards serve calendar year, so this induction is their last act in office. So make sure you give them a thank you for their leadership, and you new folks, look out for an email from me in January. I need new officers. Finally, I'd like to recognize the inductees who couldn't join us tonight. Corey Johnson, Michaela Dugas, Annika Lachniette, Camden Haid, and Jessica Minch. Please do congratulate them next time you see them. And without further ado, I'll hand things over to our co-presidents, Taylor and Julia, to get the induction started.
Okay, you ready? Julia, I have the honor of presenting to our current members and to our faculty the 2025 candidates for membership in the Alpha Epsilon Delta chapter of Sigma Tau Delta.
Thank you, Taylor. Please read the names of the candidates. Candidates, please rise as your name is called and remain standing.
Emma Bertando, Kaylin Casey, Jessica Day, Camden Delude, William Doobie, Xavier Manuel Garcia, Kendall Garrity, Olivia Landry, Vivian Lubinsky, Emily Long, Ethan Miller, Kylie Rose Negretti, Nicholas Andrus, Madeline Orwick, Jamie Seal, Kyle James Tabor, Madison Tatro.
Inductees, you are going to be joining us in Sigma Tau Delta, the International English Honor Society, partaking in our mission to distinguish undergraduate students, graduate students, scholars in academia, and professional writers who are recognized for their accomplishments in linguistic or literary fields. Sigma Tau Delta promotes interest in literature and the English language on local campuses and their surrounding communities, fostering this discipline of English in all its aspects, including creative and critical writing.
Membership in Sigma Tau Delta is an outward recognition of personal accomplishments. Each of you has been recommended as a person of superior scholarship with enthusiasm for the humanities and therefore worthy of this honor.
Henry David Thoreau once said, "It takes two to speak the truth, one to speak and another to listen." As members of Sigma Tau Delta, you understand the importance of communication, the value of listening, and the significance of expression. You have proven yourselves capable of comprehending the English language and of pursuing the truths in works of literature, rhetoric, and linguistics. Being a member of Sigma Tau Delta and the English studies community as a whole requires that you continue these efforts and prepare yourselves to take the truths you have found here into the world, sharing with others your joy and appreciation of our discipline.
My friends, are you ready to take upon yourselves the obligations of membership in the International English Honor Society and its local chapter? If so, answer. We are ready to become members of Sigma Tau Delta. Thanks, friends.
Since you have indicated your readiness, we will read together the pledge and motto of Sigma Tau Delta. Would all current members of Sigma Tau Delta please stand and join us? You guys are already standing. Sorry. All right, all together now.
I shall endeavor to advance the study of literature, to encourage worthwhile reading, to promote the mastery of written expression, and to foster a spirit of fellowship among those who specialize in the study of English language and of literature, ever keeping in mind our international motto, sincerity, truth, design. Sigma Tau Delta is honored to recognize you as esteemed members. The International Headquarters presents to you the outward signs of your induction, your membership certificate and pin, and the English Department presents you with a cord to wear with your regalia at your commencement. Please step forward now as your name is called and receive these symbols of your membership. Okay. Emma Bertando. Yeah. Kaylin Casey. Jessica Day. Camden Delude. William Doobie. Xavier Manuel Garcia. Kendall Garrity. Olivia Landry. Vivian Lubinsky. Emily Long. Ethan Miller. Kylie Rose Negretti. Madeline Orwick. Jamie Seal. Kyle James Tabor. Madison Tatro. Inductees, I now declare you to be members in full standing of the Alpha Epsilon Delta chapter of Sigma Tau Delta. We welcome you into the society. Congratulations. Is that it? Oh, sit down.
Congratulations again to everyone. So that concludes the festivities for tonight. Thank you all for coming. Please linger if you'd like to take a final look at the posters before they're taken away. If you were just inducted into Sigma Tau, you cannot leave. You must stay here and have your photo taken again as a group. So don't go anywhere. Everyone else is welcome to stay and also take some more pictures, but otherwise have a great end to your semester. If you're graduating this semester, congratulations to you. Good luck on exams and papers and all of that. And see you in the spring. Take care, everyone. Good night.